All right, today we had chest and biceps. Was fortunate to hit another 1 rep max. This is the first time I've gone for a 1 rep max in a while on the bench. I had recently gone for a rep PR, got 225 for 9, and I looked up one of those little calculators online. You know, they can basically just track whatever your rep max is. It just sort of converts it into what your perceived 1 rep max would be. So I just found one of those little calculators online, threw it in there. At 225 for 9 reps, it calculated that my 1 rep max would be 293 and some change. It seemed a little high, and actually this workout I was really just shooting to go for 275 just to see how it felt. And as I was warming up and working up to it, you'll see here in a little bit, but once I actually got to 275, it moved pretty damn quick. So I said, screw it, why not? Let me try to work my way up, see how it feels. Sure enough, I was able to get 290 today, so that was the most I've ever benched in my entire life. So I'm really happy with that, really pleased with it. So another funny thing to note, the angle I have my camera set up at, you can see the weights on there, like you can see the plates, and then it gets to a point where as I start adding weight, I didn't realize that it was sort of out of the frame. So as I'm doing this, I worked my way up. What I thought was going to be my 1 rep max PR at 285, I realized that the 5-pound plate that I had on the end of the bar wasn't actually in the frame. So I know it's an ego thing, but in my mind it didn't count. So I said, screw it. I actually threw on another 2.5-pound plate on each side, which brought me up to 290 for my 1 rep max. The music that they play in my apartment's gym is never the type of music that I want to listen to as I'm going for 1 rep maxes. It's like very spa-esque. You know, I feel like I should be laying down to get a massage with the style of music that they play in this gym. And unfortunately, with my minuscule recording setup, which is essentially just my phone setup, propped up on my shaker bottle, angled at wherever I'm lifting, I don't have the option to keep my music playing off of my phone into my headphones. So unfortunately, anytime you see me recording a video, I am just listening to the ambient music that's playing in the gym. So not the most motivating, but I make it work. So if I'm not mistaken, I think this was my attempt at 285. And as I was saying earlier, you can't really see the 5-pound plate in the frame here. So I was able to get it up. Was happy with that. Went to go watch it just to make sure the rep looked good. Realized you couldn't see the 5-pound plate. So changed the angle of the camera a little bit. Now you can see I've got 2 45-pound plates, a 25-pound plate, a 5-pound plate, and a 2.5-pound plate on there. And if you see me laughing here, ironically enough, the song titled Gravity by John Mayer started playing as I'm going for the most I've ever bench pressed in my life, so I found that kind of funny. Nothing like a little bit of ironic humor to get you pumped up for a lift. All right. I had a little bit of a sticking point, but got it up. I want to say my butt came up a little bit if I'm being super critical of myself, but I'll count it. Good enough for me. And then just to finish out on the bench, I stripped the plates down to 225 and just did a little set of 8 just to finish out with a little bit more volume. Okay, and then we moved on to the incline with some dumbbells. My gym only goes up to 75 pounds on the dumbbells, so I just go for little bit more higher rep range on these. I think I went for 15. So 3 sets of 15 with these. Still gets a pretty good pump. I like to keep it a little bit lower in sort of the quote-unquote strength focused rep range, between 6 to 10, and even that's a little bit on the high end, 10 reps. So 15, I feel like that's almost sort of getting to the point of muscular endurance. So it still feels like it gets a good pump, so whatever. We moved on to the cable chest flies. I only recorded one of my sets, but typically I like to do 2 sets with the cables going from high to low. I do 2 more sets, just sort of like shoulder height, kind of coming straight across, and then I finish out with 2 more sets coming from the bottom and then pulling up across my chest. I like these. I just feel like it's kind of nice hitting them from a few different angles. Obviously these cables are convenient. I'm happy my gym's got these. I've always really enjoyed doing these for a nice chest pump. All right, then we finished out with a little bit of bicep work. I actually just did a Spartan race the day before I recorded this, which was pretty heavily pull focused, so I didn't want to overdo it. So to finish out my workout, I just did a few sets of these easy bar curls and a few sets of hammer curls. But yeah, as far as that Spartan race, maybe I'll upload something on that. I don't really have much video, but have a few pictures, and typically they'll upload some as well from the photographers that are actually at the race working it. So maybe I'll make that into a post of some sort as well. A little bit different, it's not just straight up lifting, but I guess in a roundabout way, still fitness related. So maybe I'll make that into something. Hit a little flex. My biceps, I feel like, are one of my weaker points. Playing lacrosse, I've always just had sort of like stronger forearms, obviously being that it's a sport you play with a stick, you're grabbing onto it, pushing and pulling. So I've always had relatively bigger forearms, more so than my actual biceps. So trying to keep track of my progress on gaining some size in them, and it feels a little vain flexing in front of the mirror in a public gym, but sort of swallowed my pride at this point. I'm just trying to see my progress and keep tabs on where I'm at and where I've come from. So start getting a little bit of body English on these last few reps, but still feel it. Still feel like I'm not really completely cheating the rep. I'm definitely giving it a little bit of an oomph on the way up, but still getting some good work in with them. Yeah, let me hit another flex on them. All right, well, I think that's it. If you're still watching, thanks. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Hope everyone has a good day.